What if the key to solving a 30-year-old murder wasn't a brilliant detective or a hidden confession, but an algorithm? For 30 years, the murder of Natalie Grace Bell remained unsolved. Could an AI finally crack the case? Watch as cutting edge technology analyzes old evidence, uncovers hidden clues, and leads investigators to the truth in this chilling real-life mystery. In 1992, a young woman disappeared on a rainy October evening. Her name was Natalie Grace Bell, and her last known location was a gas station of a rural highway in Oregon. No signs of struggle, no clear motive, just a single chilling clue: her umbrella, still wet, lying on the pavement outside her locked car for 3 decades. Her family lived in agony, her mother leaving the porch light on every night, her father rereading her last diary entry: "I feel like someone's watching me." Case went cold, leads dried up, hope vanished, until 2024. An AI program, originally built for traffic pattern analysis, was fed into the cold case unit at Oregon State Police. Nobody expected much, but what it uncovered would shock the entire nation. Natalie was just 23, a local librarian with no enemies, no debt, and no reason to vanish. She was bright, reserved, and deeply loved. Her boyfriend had an alibi. Her co-workers were baffled. The town of Pendleton mourned and moved on, but her parents never did. The original case file was thin. No fingerprints, no eyewitnesses. Her car was parked perfectly, her purse untouched. One gas station security camera that might have captured her last moments had been malfunctioning that night, later discovered to be unplugged. For years, whispers floated through the town. Was it a drifter? A stalker? An inside job? But nothing ever stuck. In 1999, her case was officially classified as inactive. That is until an experimental AI project called CRONOS, short for Cold Reconnaissance of Open Neglected Offender Studies, was beta tested on unsolved homicides in Oregon. Natalie's file was one of 50. No one expected CRONOS to do what it did next. Detectives had pored over thousands of pages, but they were human, prone to fatigue, tunnel vision, and bias. CRONOS wasn't. The AI processed the evidence differently. It didn't look at the case as a story. It looked at it as data. It mapped out 43,000 variables across 28 years, vehicle sightings, weather reports, known sex offenders within a 30-mile radius, GPS triangulations of archived cell towers, even anonymous 911 calls. Then it flagged one anomaly. On the night Natalie disappeared, a call had been made from a payphone 14 miles from the gas station. The call lasted 26 seconds. All it said was, "She's in the trees." The caller hung up before dispatch could trace the number. It was buried in unrelated police files until CRONOS flagged it. The timestamp matched the same hour Natalie's umbrella was found. Even more chilling, CRONOS cross-referenced the voice from that 1992 call, digitally restored using enhanced audio with voice samples from 148 persons of interest listed over the years. It found a match: a retired forest ranger named Emmet Clove, someone who had been interviewed in 1993 and cleared. Emmet Clove had been a friendly figure in the small town, known for hiking tours and local wildlife talks. No record, no suspicion until CRONOS began threading the fibers of time. It uncovered that Emmet's truck had been impounded in 1993 for expired tags. Inside, a set of rubber boots, caked in a particular kind of clay. That same clay was found under Natalie's fingernails. Back then, forensics couldn't match it. CRONOS could. The AI analyzed the molecular composition of archived soil samples and matched them precisely. It also found a pattern for other women had vanished within a 200-mile radius between 1988 and 1994. All were dark-haired. All were last seen near forested regions, and each case had been shelved separately. But CRONOS saw the invisible thread. It predicted with 89.7% certainty that the cases were connected. It wasn't just a cold case. It was a pattern, a serial predator hiding behind time and incompetence. When Emmet was brought in for questioning, he was calm. Too calm. Then investigators, with AI-driven video enhancement, played a silent clip from 1992. A reflection in Natalie's car window, previously thought useless, had been clarified using generative AI. It showed a tall man in a forest ranger uniform, holding a shovel, When they showed Emmet the enhanced image, his face twitched. Just once. Enough. They obtained a warrant. Buried behind his property beneath a shed were bones, clothing, and a necklace engraved. To Natalie, love always Emmet. The Bell family broke down in court. Her father whispered, I knew she didn't just disappear. But that wasn't the twist. In Emmet's attic, they found dozens of sketches, locations, maps, and a list of names. Some had already gone missing. Others hadn't yet. Emmet Clove was charged with 6 counts of murder. Investigators now believe there could be more victims across 3 states. The Bell family finally held a memorial service in 2004, but this case triggered a nationwide conversation. Should AI be allowed to run criminal investigations? What about privacy? Bias? Will innocent people be falsely accused? Or worse, will AI begin to act not just as an analyst, but a predictor? Because in its final report, CRONOS didn't stop with Emmet.it listed 17 other cold cases, and one of them, a girl who disappeared last year, and the last place her phone pinged. The same forest road where Natalie Grace Bell vanished in 1992. Was Emmet the only monster? Or is something else out there, something still hunting? What if your name appeared on a list, written by a dead man? After Emmet Clove's arrest, justice felt within reach for the families of Natalie Grace Bell and at least 5 other women. But just when investigators thought the nightmare was over, a discovery in Clove's attic exposed something far more chilling than anyone expected. It wasn't just a notebook. It was a list. 17 names, dates, coordinates. Some names matched known cold cases, but 5, they were still alive. Or so everyone thought. The question now isn't just who Emmet Clove killed, but who he was working with, and who might be next. The leather-bound notebook was found in a false ceiling panel where the one ink faded. Inside were maps hand-sketched in obsessive detail, each marked with a red X. Notes scribbled in Clove's tight, jagged handwriting. 11:27 p.m. blue backpack. Kept asking about her sister. Left trail. Not smart. Most disturbing was the final page. A list titled The Last. 17 names. No context. The first was Natalie Grace Bell. The last, Jocelyn Militers. Rawls, a name no one recognized. At least. Not at first. Jocelyn Rawls was a 19-year-old nursing student from Spokane who went missing in 2023 after visiting her grandmother in Oregon. Her case hadn't made national news. No ransom note. No witness reports. Her file hadn't been entered into CRONOS yet, but when investigators ran her name against Clove's list, CRONOS found a chilling coincidence. Her last phone ping occurred within a 2-mile radius of one of the red X's marked in Clove's map. Had Clove claimed a new victim just a year before his arrest, or was someone else continuing his work? Even more disturbing, CRONOS began matching handwriting styles from Clove's journal to police reports written after his death. Notes left near recent missing person scenes, in the same phrasing, the same ink patterns, the same callous tone. It was as if Clove was still alive, or someone was trying very hard to make it seem that way. The AI team behind CRONOS expanded the system's scope, allowing it to not only analyze past data but predict patterns based on the behavioral and geographic signatures found in Clove's notes. And what it revealed was disturbing. It predicted that 5 more women based on lifestyle patterns, geography, and even their online behavior likely future targets. They were all within a 150-mile radius of where Clove used to patrol, and every single one of them had been unknowingly following a familiar digital breadcrumb trail, an outdoor hiking forum. Moderated anonymously. The moderator's handle, ForceGuide72. The account was active just 2 days after Clove was arrested. Imagine being told your daughter's name was in a serial killer's journal. One mother, Linda Krovitz, collapsed upon seeing her daughter Haley's name listed. Haley had gone missing in 2001. Her case ruled an accidental drowning. The river had washed her backpack ashore, but her body was never recovered. CRONOS cross-referenced river patterns and found that her belongings had drifted against the current. Unlikely unless they were planted when Haley's case was reclassified as homicide. Her mother whispered through tears. She didn't just fall. Someone pushed her. One name, one red X, that's all it took to tear open decades of pain. Clove couldn't have acted alone. CRONOS highlighted time overlaps. Some victims vanished when Clove was confirmed to be out of state. Others disappeared after his stroke in 2017, which had left him partially paralyzed. Then came the footage. A wildlife camera set up in Oregon forest for conservation research captured a figure in ranger's clothing placing what appeared to be a necklace beneath a moss-covered tree. The necklace belonged to Jocelyn Rawls, but the footage was dated 2024. After Clove was already in custody. IT wasn't just a lone killer anymore. The shadows of the forest were hiding a network, or worse, a protege. With Emmet Clove dead of natural causes just 6 weeks after his conviction, the truth now rests in the hands of A, and the growing puzzle CRONOS is desperate to solve. In a final twist, CRONOS issued a high probability alert. IT predicted another disappearance within 9 days. Target: female, 20 to 30 years old, social media active, recently searched forest trails near Pendleton, Oregon. Her name? Emily Carson. The AI pulled her name not from police files but from a TikTok posted just last week. Hiking solo this weekend. Anyone know any good trails? In the background of her video, a faded trail marker. The same marker seen in one of Clove's original sketches. The race is on. Can CRONOS stop a murder before it happens? Or will the shadows claim another victim?